for Sean Mackey to strike! It's Calvin Miller up against McGowan. Miller sends it in! It's Miller time, baby! Champions again! Falkirk have broken through the glass ceiling! After 15 years in the wilderness, Falkirk Football Club is once again a Premiership club!
This is Falkirk Daft.
With Behind the Wall, we're navy blue, are you?
The Lions are off the back. The Warriors have been slain by the Bairns of Falkirk. And it's a good place to be in. Hello, welcome to Falkirk Daft. I'm John McAnally, your host, and as ever joined by the Ginger God of Pod, ready to discuss both Livingston and Stenhousemuir and look ahead to Dundee, and we're absolutely knackered. It's Ross Wayne.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, it's been a long ass work day today for both of us, and we sit here, 8:15 on a Monday night, and yeah, listen, the good news is we've got 2 wins to talk about, but we're tired as hell. We're tired.
I mean, who decided to put a game of football on at 7:30 on a Sunday, and who also decided to go to extra time at that time of night? And then on top of that, who decided to go out drinking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well, the last one was us, but the rest of it's not on us at all. So brilliant. Listen, really well hosted yesterday.
We had the Falkirk Daft gaff at Casa McAnally yesterday ahead of the game. Some well-kent faces there, thanks to Brian Flynn, our sponsors behind the wall. He popped up and he brought Venom with him. Excellent work, Brian. Because I had all the thing is, though, like when you have a party, like because I was like, I had my 2 kegs of beer, as much kind of spirits as you could have. I had, mixers, and then everybody popped up with like loads of beers, vodka, gin, Morgans, and now I've got a house full of alcohol. Like,
which is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing.
I know, but no, it was good. It was, and then we went down to the cricket club. Thanks very much to John McNeil, who's at the cricket club. Big chat yesterday. We went to cricket club ahead of the Stenhousemuir game that we are going to have a Falkirk Daft versus Stenhousemuir Cricket Club match.
As in, not cricket though.
Yes, cricket.
John, we've spoken about cricket before.
Listen, I can't play it, but as John says, it's more of a social occasion. So we've managed to rope in Stenhousemuir Cricket Club captain, and Andy Rogers' brother, Nicky Rogers, is going to play for the Falkirk Daft team. And then we need to recruit cricketers now, Ross. This is the thing.
Jesus, right.
Well, Scott was on a couple of weeks ago. He's a cricketer.
Right, okay, fair enough.
So we only need 11. We only need 11 bodies, and as long as we've got a decent bowler, someone that can bat, the rest can field. It's like rounders.
Right, okay. I don't know the first thing about cricket, to be fair. So, yeah, okay. I'll need to do a
couple overs, Ross. You can bowl a couple overs. 20-20. So it's 20 overs, and you bowl six.
Listen, I'm for Hill originally. I know my way around a cricket bat, right? So,
so there is talk about that. Details to be confirmed, but if you are a cricketer, we're going to need your help for that. We'll get it nailed down. But Cricket Club, thanks very much for having us. Obviously, we're doing hospitality there as well as a station.
I'm up for that. Yeah.
All right, okay, brilliant. You're all right for that. But I know it was. Thanks for having us there, and yeah, it was good day, good weekend, but we're absolutely knackered here. So we're going to rush through this podcast. Apologies if it's not. We've not got a guest pundit. We've not got anybody preview the match. So it's just me and Ross talking shite for the next 40 minutes. Hopefully only 40 minutes because we want to get to our beds. I haven't even had my dinner yet. I've been in at work today. I was up at 7:30, started my work then. Drove through to Glasgow, didn't finish till 7 o'clock there, and now it's 8 o'clock, and I'm just knackered.
I bet you shouldn't have even been driving either after yesterday.
Oh, I watched myself. I was keeping track. I was keeping track,
enough.
so I was okay. I was all right as well. But listen, before we get into the games, we've got to say thank you very much to our sponsor, of course, of this week's episode. It is Rumour Architecture. Ryan has been on the go for 5 years. He's fully chartered and accredited, and the only Falkirk supporting architect in the town. We're going to say that anyway.
Which makes him the best architect.
Which makes him the best architect. You'll see some of his jobs. We spoke about that. He's certainly Scott Henderson, Crunchy Carrots, speaks very highly of him because he did Scott's new building next to behind the wall, the old Lecky's shop, and of course the houses across where the old Wallish Club used to be. And he's got a listener offer if you're looking for a job, looking for an extension, anything like that. He's going to give you 10% off just for listening to Falkirk Daft. All you've got to do is say to Ryan, I listen to Falkirk Daft, Ryan. I'm also a Falkirk supporter. And he'll give you 10% off your next project. What an absolute win for you.
Small story there. So we had a certain person at your gaff yesterday, or party, sorry, no gaff, I hate that word.
I know, it's an empty.
Asked a certain owner of Haldane Construction if she could get her 10% off, and she realised she was talking to the wrong person.
There you go, Peter at Haldane Construction. There you go. You could get a listener offer if you listen to this, Peter, as well. He was round at the gaff yesterday as well. Actually, he left his truck here, so I've not checked if he's picked it up today or not, because he left his
truck. Oh, as in like his car.
It's Haldane
Construction. Do you know what I mean? I thought you were talking about like a wee toy car. What's that all about?
Actually, truck, and he's got loads of beers that he brought. Peter piled in with. This is what I'm talking about. Piled in like 2 cases of Desperado and Corona. I'm just like, what? What's all this beer? So, yeah. Back to Ryan. If you want to get in touch with Ryan, get your 10% off rmar.co.uk. It's where you want to head for all your architectural needs. Not much happening club news wise at the moment, apart from the change to the ballot. You've the ballot, I think, might be closed now for Hearts. Is that right?
It was tonight, as in Monday night. So
I'm still not getting an email about that. I don't think. I'll need to double check. But still, yeah. Well,
you've had some issues with your emails for the club, haven't you? Do you get any emails at all, like the marketing ones?
I do, aye. So I don't understand why.
So if you're on that, you should be getting the rest. Double check your junk mail.
Aye. So yeah, I'm getting emails. I just don't. Anyway, I think some people have had. I saw the club put a kind of troubleshoot out about it. But anyway, yes, you've got that to think. But they're changing the way the ballot, Ross. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, I saw that. So there's a few different changes. So supporters who enter the ballot will be contacted either way, which is a good thing, because normally I think they were only letting you know if you were successful. The one thing I did see, and I know this was suggested by some, not by me personally, but I know it was suggested by some originally, was that those successful will be deprioritised in the next ballot, so that as many supporters as possible can attend ballot fixtures. So listen, I can see both sides of the argument from that one. I get it. The one thing I do agree with, and I think the club could have maybe went one step further, is it says anyone successful in the ballot who fails to collect and pay for the tickets without contacting the club will be blocked from future ballots until the end of the season. Listen, I get that as well. But the only thing, why can't we just see if you apply? A lot of clubs will say you need to pay. You need to put your card details. Like, why not do that?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And then the club's not losing out then, or anyway. So that's the only thing I think. I don't know. That's maybe a bit too much admin, but that's the only suggestion that I think would help stop people applying if they've no intention of going.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is, the other thing about it as well, people go, oh well, I don't want to go to the. They may put off because they'll apply for the Hearts ballot, but say, well, I want to go to the Celtic, or because there'll be Celtic. If we are top 6, the ballot games will be Celtic, Rangers, Hearts. And I think you're fine. You'll be fine
with Hibs or Motherwell, I think. Assuming we're top 6, obviously.
Yeah, assuming top 6. So.
That's a good shout, actually. Some people might not enter Hearts because they want to potentially get to. I still think the Hearts tickets will go very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's Hearts at Tynecastle. One comment to I see the last, obviously, everybody's spoken about the Celtic away game, right? But how important the ultras are to the atmosphere and the crowd at the last 2 games, because they were phenomenal at Livi, and like that was outstanding last night at Stenhousemuir as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, that's the only kind of real club news we've got. It's a bit boring admin club news, but there you go. That's how you get into the ballot and they're changing it. And listen, they're always listening to the supporters. That's one thing you can say about the club and the commercial department. They're always listening, looking ways to improve, and you can't really fault them. But people will, of course, find faults all over the place, as that
It was a good comms, though. Again, it was a good comms, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Birthday Connor, let's go straight in there and say happy birthday to Evan Morrison, whose birthday is on the 13th of February, just before Valentine's Day, and that's from Govan, Benham, Michael, and Reg. Sounds like a gang of London gangsters. Govan, Benham, Michael, and Reg. So they say happy birthday. That Ross got in touch with us. So happy birthday, Evan, on the 13th. And players celebrating their birthday this week on the 10th. The one and only Farid El Agui. How old do you think Farid is?
Well, we must be late 30s now. Well, wait, no, it's 2026. He was with us 2011, 2012. Maybe is he older? Maybe in his 40s now?
Decent shout, 41. On the 11th, back-to-back champion now, never fallen in love with a lone player. He was a great player for us and looks like he's going to go for a lot of money to a club come the end of the season. Luke Graham's 22 on the 11th. Big birthday for Sir Alex of Taunton on the 12th. What do you think age Alex is going to be on the 12th?
Late 70s, maybe now.
80 years old, Alex turns.
Is he? Is that I'm up to 80 now? Is he? Bless him. Right.
Week. So
no, he's still looking good. I saw him on TV when I watched.
I saw him on the telly. Yeah. So that's actually, he's if you see Alex kicking about tomorrow at the game, wish him a happy birthday for Thursday. On Wednesday. I wish him a happy birthday for Thursday because he's turning 80, the big 80. So congratulations to Alex. Hopefully I'm the big party. Colin McMenamin shares his birthday with Alex Totten. There you go. 45. Former Stenhousemuir striker actually, as well as playing for Falkirk.
Colin McMenamin, I enjoyed him in his spell. It was a short spell, but
it was only about 13 games, but he scored a few goals.
I better give a shout out for Thursday as well to my mum, Mrs. Wayne, her birthday on Thursday, and also my father-in-law, Arthur McInnes. There you go.
Oh, did he share a birthday? Your mother
share a birthday. My mum and my father-in-law both share a birthday.
Oh, really? That is really good. Does Mrs. Wayne listen to the podcast?
Occasionally, however, whenever she does, I usually get feedback for swearing.
Yeah, there are some episodes you really don't want parents listening to. Certainly some of the content that we put out in this show. On the 14th, Valentine's Day, Nathan Fash Austin, 32, big Nathan Austin. Never really, I'd always, when we do birthday cards, it's always a nice way to look back, but Nathan Austin, he came with, he just flattered to deceive a wee bit. There was some moments he really shone for us, and then other moments, it was like...
Well, he came with a good reputation because he'd scored goals previously. He scored the odd goal. I remember my favourite one was, do you remember his goal against Dunfermline at East End Park?
Oh, yeah.
Was it a diving header or something like that, was it? From memory.
Yeah. So Nathan Austin still kicking the ball as well. I think he's back at East 5 now, so 32. And Greg Shaw, remember Greg Shaw?
Always, yes, he was phenomenal. So he was big in the early 90s, so he must be in his 60s now, I would think.
No, 56. You're doing the man a disservice.
Is he? Oh, so he must have been do you know, I would have had him as mid-20s at early 90s, although that maths is maybe still right. All right, yeah, probably is. Good.
Valentine's Day birthdays. And thanks very much to Behind the Wall. As I mentioned, Brian was up at the gaff the other day there. Was going to have the new Indian and Stenhousemuir, a must try as well. I can't remember the name of it, but apparently it's very,
what did he say? It started with an R.
Was it like an R. It's on Trice,
or Ramio or something.
It's on Trice Road, just past where the old precinct used to be. So I need to go and check that out. But yes, thank you very much Behind the Wall for sponsoring this podcast. As ever, and thanks to Brian. Remember, buses, if you want to take that at Hampden, we won't get to take that songs again because you were getting slagged rotten for it. £15 return on in June for that. And they've got an ABBA tribute night in there on the 27th of March. And of course, as ever, you can get on the Coors coach for all the away games and the home games as well. It's £5 return and you get your pint on back when you get to the pub. So Dundee this Wednesday, and obviously Dundee United on Saturday. So get in touch with the pub, behindthewall.co.uk, or give them a call, book yourself on. You got your tickets sorted for the Hearts game, didn't you, Ross?
Yep, that's right. Yep, through Behind the Wall, and looking forward to it as well. Probably going for a bite to eat before the game, I would think, and a couple of beers, and then get the bus through. And as you say, you get your pint on the return. I'm hoping it's another positive Tynecastle result, all being well.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's talk Livingston now. It seems like an absolute eternity away, especially when you're recording at 8:30 now on a Monday evening. Going back to last week, midweek it was, off the back of the Celtic game. Couple of changes for Falkirk. Lisa came back in for Keelan Adams, and Finn Yates got a start in the kind of deeper role as he came in for Dylan Tate. I was surprised about that change. I'm not surprised about Lisa, even though I thought Adams and was certainly in contention for Falkirk Daft rated a couple of weeks ago. But Yates in for Tate, I thought was a surprising one.
The only thing I can think of was that there's a lot of games. So as you've said, we played last Sunday against Celtic. Livi on the Wednesday, Stenhousemuir yesterday. We've got Dundee United. So the games are coming thick and fast. And as we saw from yesterday's lineup as well, there was more change than that yesterday. But I think it was probably just freshening things up. Adams had done really well, and he had done well at Celtic Park as well. But listen, Philippe's been superb every time he's played for us as well. Yates, do you know, I was shocked they brought him in the deeper role, because he hadn't played brilliantly again in that deeper role. Remember when he got that game against Dundee at the end of December? Anytime Finn has been playing really well since he's come back, it's always been a bit more advanced. Yeah. So I was probably a wee bit more shocked about the position he was playing rather than the fact that he was starting.
Yeah, but yeah, the change come. And we got right off the bat, absolutely flying it. And we all know the troubles we've had at Livingston. Obviously, it was Marvin Bartley's first game in charge there as well. And we came flying out the traps at them, and we were like a goal up within 6 minutes. Brilliant work from Big Barney, who I thought had a really outstanding game against Livingston. I thought his hold-up play, his flick-ons, just his general effort was excellent. And he did so much in this goal. Obviously, made the tackle. Louis Marsh, did he go for goal? Was it a cross? We don't know. You were trying to give him an assist for it, Ross. I
think he deserves the assist.
You think Louis Marsh got an assist for it, but a brilliant finish from Kyrie Wilson. I know, in the post-match, John McGlynn had been asking that he add more goals for his game. Only scored in his debut up in Aberdeen, but it was a great finish right across the goalie and into the side net.
Superb finish, and as you said, John, a really well worked goal. Barney had another fantastic game. We'll come on to the booking he got later on in the game, which was a bit unfair. But Louis Marsh, I know there is probably a bit of chat. Did he go for goal? Was it a pass? But listen, for the angle I saw it in the ground, I'm sure it was a pass.
Give Louis the benefit of the doubt there.
And his assist rate is looking pretty decent, and he's obviously. We'll talk about it, but he got a goal too. But Kyrell, what a finish! And listen, it's been coming from him. We've spoken a lot about how he's got himself into some fantastic opportunities, but it's just the decision making or following it through has just not been there. But you can't say that about last Tuesday. I actually think he was our best player in that first 45 minutes, and I was gutted that he took a bit of a knock towards the end of it as well.
Yeah, Bairns. We did all right. Again, we had the ball in the net from Barney Stewart, but it was ruled off. It was just slightly off,
Great header, not too dissimilar from yesterday's one as well.
It was a brilliant ball in from Calvin Miller as well. Outstanding
absolutely.
Ball.
Absolutely. So nice. And Barney's he's on fire, isn't he?
Yeah, because he had the assist for the actual goal that came. That flick on from the corner. Which we got, and Louis was there at the back post, and the defending from Livingston was terrible, but
it was.
Listen, it was there about the back post. Great flick on from Barney, and he just had to turn and hit the ball into the net. Louis Marsh, and a goal for him.
It was really nice, tidy finish. Listen, it came to him quite quickly as well. When you watch it back, especially, I think it was it maybe Ruby Adams or one of the other club videographers had caught it from that side, and it came to him late. As you said, Barney got a really good flick on, but so chuffed for Louis getting a goal. And I think that's the kind of thing that will give a young player new at the club so much confidence in him. And
I
I
don't
don't know what
think
his
I
celebration
don't
was
think
like.
that lad is short of confidence. By the way, the way he plays the game, I don't think he's short in confidence.
Did you hear the Ultras song for him last night?
No. They were going Louis Marsh for a bit, and then
Yeah,
give us a go, and then that's all.
it was he's got shit hair, but we don't care. Louis Marsh.
That's got shit here, but we don't care. Jesus, we need to ask Louis about what's it up with the curtains. Brad Spencer's got it on the go as well. God,
Yes.
yeah, there we go. Maybe go curtains myself, Ross. It might be. Maybe try. I don't think that.
I'm not going to attempt that.
No, I don't think you could, mate.
Not now.
We almost got another one, and we really throughout the half we pressurised Livingston. We gave them all hell. They were all over the place. We almost got another goal, and it would have been an unbelievable goal right on the stroke of half time. As Louis Marsh, there was a nice little bit in our play. Louis Marsh finds Kyrell Wilson, and he almost scores on the volley. It would have been an outstanding goal.
Sexy ball over the top. It really was, and it deserved a goal. To be fair, and I think Kyrell, he did everything right, as you said, first time on the volley.
Well, you see, he did everything right. He didn't score, Ross. He didn't do everything.
Well, no, but like as in
literally.
Aye, 99% right. But it was a lovely ball, and for him to take it first time, that showed the confidence that was flowing through him.
Yeah. Obviously getting to the half, absolutely, flying, but then the second half, the fierce cricks in as Livingston go and get back in the game with 2-1. It was a really weird goal, a really strange goal. So Hendo went down with what we thought was a head knock, where it turns out like the ball kind of hit him in the face. Now, I don't know if he's played for the head knock to stop play, or if he's genuinely been like hurt himself and then just fallen down. But then obviously the way he's fallen down, he's played everyone on side, and McQuennan, the ball comes back into the box and McQuennan's able to just not nick it past Scott Bain. It's a really strange goal.
It was a strange goal. I'm not sure he's like, I think he's obviously he's hurt his nose, he's hurt his face, right? There's maybe been a bit of delayed reaction to it, because obviously when it first happened he was still kind of up and about. He cleared the ball, didn't he? Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's like Hendo to go down. Like, why would he potentially risk
it? Just really strange. It was really strange.
It was odd.
You went back to the replay, because I was out my seat just going, it's a head knock, referee. What? How can you play on da. And then you see it back, it's actually the ball's hit. It's maybe one of these sore ones that's hit on the nose, but I don't know if Hendo...
I don't blame VAR. I don't blame VAR at all, right? Because VAR will watch it back. They'll see that the ball's hit him in the face. It's not a collision. He has continued to stand up and kick the ball, right? The biggest shock for me is that the ref didn't stop it, because 9 times out of 10 in that position, a referee will stop the game because they just can't take the risk. And I'd be shocked if he's looked at that and saw him get hit in the face with the ball, because there was loads of bodies there. So I think I'm more disappointed in the ref's initial decision rather than VAR.
Right. Okay. Ethan Ross came on. Like, obviously, you talked about Kyrell Wilson kind of taking it on because he was going, and obviously put him almost resting Kyrell. But Ethan Ross came on. I thought Ethan was starting to show, like, he's had these injury problems, Ethan, and he's had that last season as well when he kind of had the injury, came back. And I thought he started showing a wee bit more, the more glimpses of old Ethan Ross, that whole getting down, cutting inside, and trying to curl one, and he was unlucky on a couple of occasions.
He was probably quite annoyed himself about the finishing, because he gets himself into such amazing positions. Similarly with last night at Stenny as well, could have had a couple of goals really. But yeah, listen, I love Ethan, and I think he's definitely got something about him. We talked about on the last podcast, or it could have been the one before, how he's maybe not been at his sharpest, but he's maybe just needed that extra few weeks training to get some sharpness, and he has been getting a bit more game time off the bench as well. So listen, he's after what he did at the end of last season, he's always going to be a bit of a guy, a bit of a ticket, a bit of a legend. And he just needs a goal. I think he just needs that goal in the Premiership, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, just did he get one against Dundee United? He did in the first game of the season, didn't he? Dylan Tate and
Oh,
Ethan
you're
got.
going right back now.
I
Did
think
he?
he
Did
got
he get
one,
him?
and then he was unlucky. Obviously, went again Hibs when he went through, and it was offside when
Oh, yes.
he was
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
he was unlucky with that one. But I think that was Ethan Ross and Dylan Tate in the first game, wasn't it?
Testing my memory now. Could
Right.
have been,
Okay.
but I think, listen, it's been obviously, even if it was, it's been some time, and he definitely just needs that. He's a right confidence player as well. But see, when he's on it, he's on it. And like, I know we're not reviewing last night yet, but Brad's goal doesn't happen with Ethan Ross doing Ethan Ross things.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. He was there, but the thing is, Livy at that 2-1 lead, they were back in the game. It was a bit end to end. They got the bit between their teeth, and almost, Stevie May, like Scott Bain didn't have. When I say Livy, I think it was just the nerves amongst the supporter. But like the only chance you can really or anything that Scott Bain had to do, great save from Stevie May, and just goes to Scott Bain doing Scott Bain things, just able to get away. But I don't, there was a lot of kind of humming and hawing around the box, a lot of kind of defending, getting balls away, and just that fear that Livingston would do what Livingston do and getting. And you thought with Scott Arfield coming off the bench as well. Oh no, this is going to be it's going to go from fairy tale against Partick to nightmare against Livingston. But they kept him at bay, and Scott Arfield didn't really even get a sniff in the game.
No, he was very, very quiet. But you're right though, when he came on, I think we all had that small feeling, oh, we've seen this movie before, haven't we? But thankfully he was very, very quiet. How he didn't extend a lead against Livingston, I'll never know, John. Obviously, as we've said, Ethan Ross with a couple of chances. Finn had a really good shot from the edge of the box as well, but obviously Calvin is probably the biggest
Yeah.
talking point in that.
I was like, when he went round him, I thought, all he's got to do is just tap it in. As
Tap it in.
Tap it in. Too many Happy Gilmore references in this podcast. And he's gonna hit it a bit harder than I thought he probably wanted to. I did see that Calvin was saying that there was a lot more of in terms of the Astro, a lot more of the black balls that were down trying to play with. I don't know if he can get away with that. I know he was really disappointed in himself, right enough, but it was a shame because at 3-1 you're kind of coasting up the road and you're happy with it. But I just got a bit nervy near the end. We're bringing on Cole Donaldson and Lewis Nielsen just to shore things up and put in a bit of physicality just to make sure we're all right. But I want to just come back a wee bit from that point. What Barney got a yellow card for getting choke slammed off Ryan McCowan. What was that all about?
Absolutely shocking. What we've now seen the footage that Ruby Adams took, right? We've all seen that angle. At no point does he do anything to the defender. Yes, he's close to the goalkeeper to try and stop it, but everybody does that. Listen, Chris Boyd made a career out of it. He then gets as you said, chokehold, smashed to the ground. He gets the fucking booking, and then you've got what's VAR? What have they seen? Like why have they? And was the guy not already on a booking as well?
Ryan McGowan, yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was already on. Was that him who did the choke thing though?
I think it was Ryan McGowan, yeah.
I'm sure whoever did it was on a booking, and you're like, how have we not got something here? I've no idea what VAR we're looking at. No idea.
Well, it wasn't VAR that got involved in it, was it? It was just
No, but they could have and probably should have. Like, why? Like, I know the decision would have been the referees to make, but surely VAR are in his ear saying, oh, by the way, there's a camera angle here. Like, if Ruby's got it, how have the cameras not got it? And saying, listen, this guy has just been thrown on the ground.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it was VAR checks for both our goals as well, which was.
There was. Yeah.
Which was. I was like, how can, they were checking for offside for Louis Marsh. I was like, was 2 men on the line or something like that?
No, it was never going to not be a goal, but.
It was actually quite nice not to have VAR against Stenny, but we'll obviously talk about Stenny just in a bit. But yeah.
Maybe we should have had VAR. Maybe there should have been VAR last night. They would have been doing it 10 men.
Oh, we'll get to that in a bit. But yellow card for Barney. which was a mental decision. But we got through, and thank God, it just felt a relief from the supporters at the end. It was that big lion off the back. And it's been something that's bugged us for the last season and a half. So hopefully now that's out the way, we can just calm down a wee bit, because it felt like a big 3 points.
It was a huge 3 points, and there was relief at the end. Not just because it was tight game towards the end, but as you said, like Livingston have just been an absolute disaster for us the last year and a half. Falkirk Daft has to be the Livingston social media prick again. Tweeting through the game, like essentially calling Barney a cheat, all the usual shite. Like, honestly, just fuck off.
Get it up here, Livi admin. That's
what's his name again? Is it Dave Badura or something like that?
Apparently, he's really, like, in terms of, like, I don't know, but he like does the graphics and stuff, and he's a Livi supporter. But the fact that, and it always gets me, like, when you're doing the social media for a club, a little bit level of professionalism, you know what I mean?
See if he was doing a podcast like us, just say what you fucking want.
Yeah.
But not at that. And but then maybe listen, we've said it before. He obviously just he just
talks like a supporter, and that's fair enough. He talks like a supporter, but
he's obviously the fact that he still does it means that the club approve of his comments. So listen, classless as always.
Yeah. There you go. Ben Brogio making his debut as well. I thought he showed up really well against Livingston. I don't think he showed up as well against Stenny right enough.
Yeah, I enjoyed him when he came on. He got something about him. I think he was in maybe a better position against Livingston. He was playing in the hole. I'm not sure out in the wing is his game, but and it was never going to be that kind of game last night against Stenny. But
I actually think it was the wrong game to put him into, because you're playing. You know how Stenny were going to set up, and he's playing against big lads. And I actually thought this is probably not a game for you. I mean, fair play. He stuck to his task really well, but
he did.
Yeah. Let's talk before we talk about Stenny, and let's get you some of your comments from last Wednesday. William kicks off. If you're going to put Martindale upstairs, why not wait until after you played the one team he has the Indian sign over? Thank God they didn't. Good win, but was closer than it should have been.
Absolutely. Craig says streets ahead of them first half. Second half turned into a bit of a battle. However, we thankfully held on. Hopefully the last we see of them for a while.
We Livi are by far the worst team in the league. The Grangemouth Globetrotters should have won 5-1. Really need to be more clinical.
I see Stenny were coming out with the Grangemouth shite last night as well. Liam says, and he's a Livi fan, Falkirk are brilliant to watch. They play lovely stuff, and you finally dabbled a bit into the dark arts. First time I've seen you look prepared to play Livingston. Coupled with Livi being absolute dog shite, that helped. But as annoying as you are, well in for this season. Fair play, Liam.
Fair play, Liam. Thank you very much for that. And Paul rounds up with saying, we did it at last. Relief. The first half felt like a training session. Lots of space, crisp passing, and plenty of chances. Interval broke our rhythm. Difficult to defend with Hendo lying face down on the 18-yard line. Brogio looks like another great addition. Stenny up next, and that was obviously written. So we know where the Falkirk Daft is from Livi. Falkirk Daft rated from the Livingston match.
Do you know, I said Kyrell was probably the best player in the first half, and I think he was, but for his goal and his assist, I'm going to say Louis Marsh. I would have went Barney Stewart, because I thought he was great at Livingston. He did very well. He's honestly turned into such an important player for us, as we probably saw when he came off the bench against Stenny. But we'll give it to Louis Marsh, because with an assist, in inverted quotes, and a goal, I don't think we can't give it to him. So that was on Wednesday, and then it was a bit of relief as we went into the Cup, away from the league action. And it was a good place to be as we went to Ochilview, only 5 miles away from Falkirk and near my house, which was great because it was only 10 minutes walk and we had the party at mine. 6 changes, not really unexpected, I don't think, Ross. Adams in for Lisa. Once again, they kind of switched back. Called Olsen, first start this season. Great to see Call back with the captain's armband. And he started alongside Lewis Nielsen at centre hack for Hendel and Connor Allen. Brogio got his first start, as we mentioned. He was in for Kyrell Wilson. Dylan Tate was in for Finn Yeats as a change from Livingston. And it was big Brian Graham that was starting up top
for the Bairns. What do you make of the team when it got announced, Ross?
I expected some changes. Don't know if I expected six, because I thought, based on John's comments, he obviously talked about the importance of the game. However, we have said this before. Changing our starting 11 isn't necessarily making it weaker, because there is plenty of boys, if not the full bench, who if they start, we are still a strong starting 11 there. And I know that was talked about. I watched the game back when I came in last night, and I heard James McFadden, Scott Brown, these guys, Lee Miller, these guys talking about it. Falkirk have such strength and depth. Even that bit of a bell end, the Stenhousemuir goalkeeper, was kind of talking about it. I noticed as well. So yeah, no, listen, fair play for the changes. Great to see Big Cole back in as well. Lewis Nielsen, the two of them, they could have had a wee game of tiddlywinks between them at points last night.
I mean, they defended when they were defending really, really well when they had to. They really did. They played a lot of the game in Stenhousemuir's half, pretty much. Lewis Nielsen and Cole Donaldson. And as you say, it was good to see Cole back and with the captain's armband on, getting a start. And hopefully, he can overcome his injuries and then get an odd. I do think he'll find it harder to get into the team with Connor Allen and Big Hendo. The way they're playing. Did Hendo just get a night off? Do you think, because he wasn't even on the bench last night?
No, he wasn't, but I don't know if it was on one of the YouTubers who's put a video up today, or whether it was the club's social media stuff. I could have swore I saw Hendo in his tracksuit in the middle of the park before the game, so I think he was obviously there. I think he's probably just been given a rest. He's played every single minute of the league campaign so far.
He's played every single minute since we were in League One. Hendo.
Yeah, and I'd be shocked. No, I don't think he's injured. I think John would have talked about it, because John's like an open book. He would have talked about it. I fully expect Hendo and Connor to be the two centre halves against Dundee on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll get to that, because it'll be interesting your team selection when we speak about that. But yeah, Stenny, there's not much to write home about this game.
Just fast forward to 104 minutes.
Pretty much. I mean, the Dan Jameson, who you mentioned, had the kind of double save kind of earlier in the game. We had, had Ambrosio volleying after the Calvin Miller cross. We managed to get the ball in the net with Louis Marsh, flagged offside. Did you? I don't know if VAR was there. I would like to see the lines drawn, because the perspective thing was quite interesting. But I think if without VAR, it looked maybe offside.
You just need to go with the line over that one. But
it was nice, like I say, it was really nice not to have that worry though when we scored. Like they were going to
Well, that is true. Yes, that was a nice feeling that you didn't have to go, oh God, is this going to be ruled out? It was a very comfortable. Like, I know it didn't always feel a comfortable night. My biggest worry was that it was going to go to penalties, because penalties is a complete lottery.
Yeah, I think my worry was the break. It was just them hitting on the break. But again, Colin Lewis defended really, really well.
Yeah,
as did Leon, and as did Keelan as well, and Philippe when he came on. Yeah. But it was just that way. It's like you worry about them on the break, or they just get something, or they get a penalty from. But what we did do is we kind of inhibited them, because Stenny, like when I saw them against Morton, they were very big reliance on their set pieces, and they got pretty much 3 out of 4 goals from them. But we kind of stopped that from happening. There was 1 or 2 like silly fouls we gave away around the box, but it wasn't that much. And we tried to stop that kind of, they were throwing long throws into the box, but we kind of stopped, a lot of free kicks happening around the box, and stopped preventing corner kicks as well. So that was probably part of the, not doing anything silly like that, because, that when you get a set piece and the height they were, anything. Yeah. Our Achilles heel set pieces as well.
I totally agree, and they did talk about that pre-match. Again, I can't remember if it was one of these YouTubers that I was watching today earlier on, but they were interviewed, and they did talk about how the fact that set pieces could be a good opportunity for them. Having studied Falkirk, obviously they gave the other compliment, the other side. Listen, we've got a full squad there that can do damage, but they did look at the set piece situation. But as you said, listen, we were pretty comfortable all night, and it was really just a matter of when we were going to score. It's just a shame it didn't happen like 15 minutes earlier than it did, and it would
I
have
wouldn't have
stayed
been
saved
knackered and
us.
have to go to extra time. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
But listen, I thought like hats off to Stenny. Like they defended in the banks of four, they defended really well. I thought Nicky Jamieson and Gregor Buchanan at centre half were excellent in terms of Brian Graham didn't really get a sniff, and I thought it was such a game for Brian Graham, and he really just he didn't get near it, at
yeah.
all because I thought they defended really really well throughout the match.
No, they definitely did defend well. I was disappointed in Stenhousemuir attacking wise because I thought, listen, because they
I've,
didn't
I've,
they didn't
I've,
trouble
I've
us at all.
said it in the preview podcast. I was really impressed by Matt Aiken and what he did, but and then they obviously took off Dale Carrick as well. And like Dale Carrick was actually, I think he's a decent player as well, but.
Seems to have been about for about 45 years as well.
Doesn't he? But listen, I thought all credit to them, and it's not make it sound condescending anyway. I thought they did themselves proud in terms of the defending.
No, listen, they did. They did. They are where they are in League One on merit. If they do go up, good luck to them. Listen, it's hard being a part-time team in a full-time setup. Now, granted, not all of the League One teams are full-time, but Inverness definitely are. And so they're punching there. If they do get promoted, though, they are going to have to do a lot fucking better with that turnstile situation.
I mean we were stuck outside for it was like we were
40
the
minutes.
queue was right around. Well, we were smart, Ross. We stayed in the pub till about 7:20, and we came down. The queue started moving really fast when we came down, so we were only in it for 10 minutes. So missed the first kind of 5-10 minutes of the game, but we're watching on BBC iPlayer.
We obviously left yours. Well, we all left roughly about the same time, but we got to the ground at 7, so it's half an hour before kickoff, right? There was 4 or 5 years, and 20, 25, 26 minutes past we got into the ground. Brutal. And as it turns out, they didn't open all of the turnstiles that they were meant to open. Plus, there was obviously some people getting searched, some people weren't, bunkers. So yeah, listen, they need, if they are going to go up to the championship, they're going to need to do a lot better with bigger crowds.
I know you could have went and got yourself a wee Tim Hortons. Ross could have a wee coffee in the queue. Could have sent
Mate,
some Timmy's.
I joined the queue. I joined the queue at fucking B&M. I could have went in and got some shopping. That's where I joined the queue.
But aye. So I mean, the 90 minutes there wasn't much to talk about at all, really.
Let's talk about the goal. Let's talk about the goal.
Let's talk about the goals. So Brad Spencer, let's talk about the chance he had before he actually scored his goal. About 2 or 3 minutes before he scored his goal, I was going like, just someone score now. And Brad, it fell to Brad, and I thought this is the moment. And I don't know what he was like. The shot was terrible, absolutely atrocious, and it went miles wide.
He did talk about it when he was interviewed after the game as well, didn't he? Actually, I felt sorry for Brad because not only did James McFadden call him out, like obviously Brad's like so excited about his 30-yard goal, and then James McFadden's like, did you feel guilty about having missed that absolute sitter? And then Barney, when they're talking about the second goal, Barney's like, yeah, listen, at least 50% of Brad's crosses are good. And then you just saw Brad's face, he's like, fuck off.
I heard that from Barney. I thought it was really funny. It's like, because to be fair, Brad's delivery was like sometimes last night we weren't beating that first man, and it was really frustrating. So I'm glad Barney called him out on it. I'm sure Brad will be having his getting his own back for that.
Imagine the two of them walking back across the park. Wait till I fucking get you in that change room.
I know. like your dad, like grabbing Barney by the ear. Wait till I get you.
Who do you think you are?
Exactly. But no, listen, he had a big chance just before he got his goal. But his goal was a great goal from he was a lot further out than I thought when I went back and watched it on the telly. Like 30 yards, between 20
minimum.
It
has to be 30 yards minimum.
Yeah, and like it's a great shot, and it's something you'd like to see Brad do more of because he has those moments. There's been a few goals he's scored for us that have been really, really good goals, and you'd like to see if Brad can add a wee bit more goals, as Dylan Tate. If Dylan Tate and Brad could add a few more goals to chip in, and from those positions, it was good to see actually taking a shot and goal, backing yourself, and that's what happens when you back yourself. You score worldies.
You do. And he talks about it as well, doesn't he? He just says, listen, we were trying to not walk the ball into the net, but as close as to say that without saying it. And he just thought, you know, sod it, we'll have a goal. And there you go. Listen, it doesn't always pay off, but I'm so glad he took the shot, and he was a brilliant celebration as well. That's what I like about the terracing. I love terracing. It's old school. Don't get me wrong, I could have been doing without standing for another half an hour at the end last night. I was like, oh, I just want to sit down. But the bounce about you get on terracing after a goal like that is superb.
Yeah, no, it was great, absolutely brilliant, and so they got the goal, and then it was, you know, after that, Stenhousemuir, you could tell it just took the wind out of them a wee bit, and then a few minutes later, after the second half of extra time, we go on. Brad Spencer, very good delivery. You know, Barney was slagging off. He finally beat the first man, but it was a great delivery, and Barney just, you know, you tell it was, and I think they said in the interview afterwards, it was one that they'd worked on before. Barney runs off his man. Great header for the big man. He's such a good header of the ball, Barney. Great, and the good thing about having Barney as well is, like, defensively, he's good to have in and around the box for defending.
He's a big guy. He's a big lad. And as you said, he's a brilliant header of the ball. And that's, like, I know the Livingston one didn't count, but it was a terrific header for that one. Brilliant header there. And that's him adding to the genre of goals as well. Like, you go back to the Hibs game, it wasn't three, there wasn't a header there. So this is him now showing that he's sort of developing his heading game as well. I loved it when he ran away into the corner, and there was obviously still loads of Falkirk fans in the Stenny end because they were all cheering in the corner.
Did he do the Vince McMahon stroke Conor McGregor walk as a celebration as well?
Oh, I never noticed these.
I saw that. I thought he did the old strutting Vince McMahon walk, but right. I might be wrong. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know who Vince McMahon is. No. What was the other name you said? I know who Conor McGregor. I know who that is.
You know why he kind of swaggers down?
Aye, yeah.
That's based on Vince McMahon from the right. I'm not going to explain it to you.
Vince McMahon, that was the actor.
No, Jesus Christ. No.
Oh, I'm not getting Vince Vaughn. Move on.
Right, let's just move on from that. But yeah, it was, you know, we got there in the end with Stenny. It was a 2-0 win. And as the most famous phrase, which I've heard all this weekend from every manager, at least we're in the hat. So that was it. And we got the draw right after the match. Dundee United or Spartans at home. What are you thinking, Ross? Because big sexy Lee Miller, who was doing the draw, that is an open draw if I've ever seen one.
Very, I'm liking it. I did see that he said that he drew Falkirk at home to Celtic in the practice round, which I could have been doing without. But I said this to a couple of people last night. We will be playing Spartans in the next round. They will not. Dundee United will not beat them. Dundee United. Are you
kidding me?
Yeah, no,
I know Dundee United aren't having the greatest season, but Spartans, I know they're top of the league too. But
on that pitch at Tannadice, that is a leveler. I listen. I'm not convinced that Dundee United.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be playing the Spartans, and if it is Spartans, you would fancy our chances at the Falkirk Stadium.
Well, listen, see if they beat Dundee United, they won't think anything of playing Falkirk as well. It could be a hard. Either way, it's going to be a hard tie. But I think we will be playing the Spartans at the start of March.
Bloody hell, there you go. You've heard it here first. Dundee United will get a wee feeler of them a week on Saturday, or this Saturday. Jesus,
this Saturday.
A week on Saturday. God almighty. So it's getting to that time. We're getting there, though. We're getting there, Ross. We're almost in the home stretch. So 2-0 against Stenny. Let's hear what you guys had to say. Chris kicks us off saying, low block from them was very good. They defended well, but offered zero going forward. Brad's goal was a beauty, and Barney's was great header. Just what you want from your striker. We lacked a little bit of creativity at times, but apart from that, we were never really in danger.
Brendan says, felt like far harder work than it should have been. Fair play to Stenhousemuir for blocking our play, but they didn't look much like scoring, although he does say not sure that we did either. But as several managers have said this weekend, when it comes to the Scottish Cup, the result is all that matters.
You get yourself in the hat, mate. That's what you do. Ian says, Larbert defended this. See this Larbert Grangemouth patter? That has to stop. Jesus. Don't get
Although
me
I was
wrong.
guilty of it because I did their full-time tweet as well, and that was just
I
anyway.
know, but can I just say Stenhousemuir Football Club are actually in Stenhousemuir. Falkirk, we're going to say is in Falkirk. People will claim it's going. That don't start that argument.
Well, it is in Falkirk though, because the address is Falkirk. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, Ian says Lambert defended very well. Keeper had a couple of decent saves. Their attacking was non-existent. Looked to be playing for penalties from kick-off to me. We could have done with some better finishing to see it off in 90 minutes.
indeed. See, just what we're talking. Remember last week we were talking about if Falkirk were in a fake game, and we said like Fourth Valley Blues or something like that.
Yeah.
What would Stenhousemuir be? Like
Uh,
Toffee United or something like that.
Warriors. They would just put them in as the Warriors.
Warriors, yeah,
or
I
something
suppose.
like that.
Eck says that was a tough watch, but they parked the bus. To be fair, how they lasted as long as they did, fair play. Standout, I think, was Leon.
Well, there you go. Leon did have a good game. He was up and down and defended really well as well. Colin says struggled with the low block and didn't work. The Stenny keeper worked the Stenny keeper enough. Felt we didn't move the ball as quickly as we usually do, and allowed Stenny to get back into their shape. Ultimately, all that matters is the win. Though man of the match probably Leon, but no one really shone out. Another one for Leon.
Another one for Leon. And then last but not least, Elsa felt like being back in League One facing Stenny's low block, which was highly effective. Our final ball was poor, and had that been better, we could have had the game won by half-time. The main thing is, however, we got there and two good goals to win it. Looking forward to a home tie next.
What about the Falkirk supporters' header when I think it was the
I saw that. That was good as well, wasn't it?
shot? Was that an intentional header? Who was the header of the ball? Because that's every supporter's dream. The ball just falls out there and you just nod it back onto the park. But I don't know I don't think that was intended for his header.
I don't know. Do you know what it looked like? The guy who was speaking to me on the way in, though, were queuing because obviously the shambles of the queue, right?
Yeah.
There was this guy beside one of the guys near us, and he was like, "This is shocking. You need to talk about this on the podcast. This is like we need to report this to someone." I was like, "Go tell your MP because I can't do anything about this." Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, brilliant. I think it was a wee accidental because he wasn't looking as at the pitch at the time. I think although the hat just like flies right off, doesn't it?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. You thought there should have been a sending off? Did you not say?
Yeah, well, I thought Buchanan absolutely. I'm trying to think who it was now that he absolutely pulled to the ground. Was it Barney? From memory, I think it might have been Barney. He absolutely smashed him and threw him to the ground. How he's got away with that, I'll never know. I thought the ref was poor.
I mean, the stats for the game, I've just looked it up because I thought I'll have a look at them. 73% to 27%, 23 shots to 4, 8 shots on target to 2, goalkeeper save 6 to 2, God almighty, corners 10 to 3. God. It was, but still, like I say, they defended well, Stenny, and they did what they had to do. But like I said, they just ran out of steam, and thank God for that because I could not have handled penalties. I really couldn't have handled it because it's just an absolute lot. He went there the last time. Remember when we got in a penalty shootout? Cole missed one, and we were out the Challenge Cup, which probably in hindsight was a good thing.
So who's your Falkirk Daft rated for last night then?
I'm going to give it to Brad. Everyone's saying Leon here, and I feel bad, but I don't remember Leon absolutely standing out. But Brad with an assist, up and saying that his delivery was great last night, Brad. But he had it in the end. He scored a great goal and he got an assist. So Brad,
I think Brad as well for the goal and the assist. And listen, he's one of these players that he's played an awful lot of football the last.
And you've got to feel sorry for Brad because he must have been thinking last night, "Oh, I'm going to get the night off. Thank goodness I played, like I say, like Hendo, I played every minute of every game possible. I want to get the night out of. Dad McGlynn will let me off, but then there's his old favourite son as well. There you go, Bradley, back at it."
And he picked the cutest wee girl for the armband handover as well, and the BBC caught that. Although I was a bit annoyed because the commentator's like, "Oh, that's a really nice thing he's done." Well, he does it every game. Just do your research.
Exactly. Well, there you go. You tell the BBC. But we'll give it to Brad. So there you go. I'm sure he'll be delighted with his Falkirk Daft. I think that might be Brad's first of the season.
No, surely not.
I can't believe that. I think it's just like him and Hendo are so consistent because when I'm looking down the list here, Hendo's picked up a good few, but
No, I think
bad.
you're right.
Like,
Bloody hell.
so consistent. Like, that you just
There you
forget.
go.
And that's why he's first name in the team sheet every week, because
Absolutely.
that consistency. So, Brad's first Falkirk Daft rated of the season. Can't believe that. Dafty, we're giving it to the queuing scenario, or I'm guessing
Look,
the turnstiles.
yes, probably. However, I want to give an honourable mention for our pal Gary McLaughlin because for most of the game, he was obviously pretty drunk, and
Yes, he had at my house. He was like, "Oh, can I try one of those Venoms?" I'm like, "Aye, Gary, no worries."
well, for the vast majority of the game, all he kept complaining about how the Stenhousemuir obviously won the coin toss, and they love shooting into the away end, and they're definitely going to score. That was all he kept saying for the full game, and obviously it didn't happen. But he was so drunk. Like at one point, it was like I was like listening to like that comedian Rosie Jones. It was like listening to her in my ear. He was so drunk.
That's
I was
Ross
like,
Wayne cancelled. But I saw Gary went up to high spirits as well after the.
it's because he was off today.
I couldn't believe it. I was anyway. Well, do you know what? Gary's been it before, so we'll give it to the turnstile fiasco.
Give it to the turnstile.
Right, there you go. So you avoided it this time, Gary. But yeah, there you go. Stenny done, and we're in the hat for the next one, and we've got Dundee United. So wait and see. Could be, listen, we've got a best chance at, like, you look around the draw and you think, well, Motherwell will fancy it if they can get past Aberdeen.
Yep.
Because when Rangers and Celtic meet each other in the quarters, it means only one of them's left. Hearts are out now, Hibs are out now, and you're going, well, St Mirren. I think St Mirren will probably get past Thistle, but if that had been at Firhill, you would have thought, oh, Thistle got a wee chance of getting in there and all.
Yeah. Listen, we'll look after ourselves, but it's open. It's wide open. This. I don't want to peak, like say anything rash. Like, and I know I'm the optimist here, right?
Yeah.
But and I probably feel more confident about finishing fifth than I do about winning the Scottish Cup. But I just think let's see how we go.
That would be nice. I'd
A
take
trip to Hampden would be brilliant. It would.
Well. So that's us Scottish Cup out or not. Look ahead to Dundee quickly now. That's our next game up. We usually speak to Jim Geltley, but we're now just rushing through this so we can get our dinner and get up the road. Dundee, Wednesday, what you thinking? Who's going to play? Obviously, last time out, we had the Connor Allen's wonder goal, 2-1 at the stadium. At Dens, bit tougher. We didn't play well at all. In fact, it was probably one of the worst performances of the season when I look back at it. When we played them up at Dens, it should have been a 0-0 in all.
A draw would have been a fair result.
Yeah, I think so.
Bargain.
I think so. But what are you thinking for Wednesday? Because Dundee, I was really impressed with when they played against Celtic, and I mean, we were unlucky not to win that match.
They did all right. They've made a couple of decent signings in the window as well.
Ethan Hammond looks like a good player in midfield, by the way.
Yeah. So no, listen, it'll be a tough game, and we need to, like every game, we need to be on our A game. If we're not, we'll not get the points or any points. In terms of the team, Scott Bain will be in goals. I think Philippe Lisa will play right back. And that's just a guess. I don't have any insider knowledge, but I just think he's now back fitness wise. I think he'll start. Leon will be left back, and I think he'll revert back to Hendo and Connor. Beg your pardon. I fully expect Brad and Dylan in the midfield. Kyrell, assuming he's fit and 100% fit, I think he'll start. Calvin. It's a toss-up between probably Louis Marsh and Brogio. I think it'll be Marsh.
Do you think Finn Yates is not coming into that?
If he does, it will be for Dylan. If he does start, that'll be for Dylan, I think. And then Barney
up front.
up top. Yep.
Barney up top, aye.
Any different to that, you thinking?
He might run out. He might get Brogio run out in the 10. But I'd seen that Louis Marsh is like, he's done so.
Stats are looking all right.
So I think Louis probably starts. It'll be an interesting game. I mean, Dundee league form wise, they've lost the last two and drawn one, albeit it was the old firm they were taking on. But 23 points, they'll be looking to. I mean, I think they're 6 points off of Kilmarnock. They could easily get dragged back into that because Kilmarnock look like they're about to hit decent form. Livingston, I mean, 11 points. could be. I think they're going to really struggle to get back from that position. But yeah, I think Dundee under Elvis they've done all right, and I think he's starting to turn some heads around at Dens Park now in terms of his attitude, and like I've always said, I've never heard players moan about Stephen. Even at Falkirk,
no, he's very well liked. He's very well liked as a guy. He's as a coach. I think his signings in the January window are been far better than what he brought in the summer. I noticed there was a few left as well. Yeah. You look at the recent run of results. Obviously, they did lose to Celtic. They lost fairly comfortably to Rangers. But they picked up a good point against St Mirren away. They beat Kilmarnock away. They narrowly lost to Hearts, which is no mean feat. And they beat Dundee United. So outside the teams they were expected to lose against, who they did, they've picked up points. So they'll be looking at this game and thinking, Jesus, we've got a real good chance of getting 3 points here. And if they do get 3 points, they can potentially go into 8th above Dundee United. So there's a huge incentive for them. On the flip side, I don't think Dundee United and Aberdeen game will go ahead. As far as I can hear, I've been hearing a bit more. The weather forecast is still bad. It's still raining.
Not had sun in Aberdeen for 19-20 days or something like that.
Aye, so there's no chance the North East is having a game of football anytime soon. So from our perspective, and this is where our incentive comes in. We're currently 8 points in front of Aberdeen. We're 11 points in front of Dundee United, assuming they do not play tomorrow, Wednesday night. A win for us takes us, 14 above Dundee United and 11 in front of Aberdeen. The top 6 is done. Top 6 is done. If we can get, if that results.
But if that's the case and we play and we do win, Aberdeen will have 2 games in hand against us.
Whilst true, and one of them is Celtic. One of the games against Celtic, and obviously this game against Dundee United, they're going to slit each other's throat there a little bit. The other thing is we play Dundee United on Saturday as well. Now, again, it's all ifs, buts, and maybes if my auntie had balls. But again, if we could win on Wednesday, specifically if we're looking at Dundee United, we could be 14 points before Saturday in front of them. A win over United on Saturday, 17 points. That they're not coming, they're not hitting, they're not catching us.
Yeah, it's a bit big games. Like Dundee United, I think especially on Saturday will be huge for us. Like if we were to get like even 4 points, I think out of this kind of 2,
that would be brilliant.
I think that's huge. And I think you should then start going. A lot of people have been saying we'll be top 6 now, but I think if you get 4 points out of these 2 games, you can start going. I think we will be interesting. We'll see how it gets on. Score prediction for Wednesday night.
2-1 Falkirk. What are you?
Falkirk. I will say it will be. I think we'll draw on Wednesday and I think we'll win on Saturday. So I'll take a 1-1 against Dundee and I think we'll beat Dundee United on Saturday. That is my prediction. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's Dundee then, Dundee United. But before we go, say thank you very much to Falkirk Football Fans and Training. We're almost there, Ross. Falkirk Football Fans Training are down with the T8s Wednesdays at Stadium, 8:30 to 9:30. They've got the Elite Academy and Legends section as well as the over 50 section. I did see any of them at the game last night actually, but they're always there or thereabouts. They go to hospitality. You can get fit for the new year. You can help your mental health. Meet a bunch of great guys down there every Wednesday, 8:30 to 9:30. All the details on how to speak to the guys are below, or you can just check out the Facebook page. Just type in Falkirk Football Fans and Training T8s. You'll get through to them, or speak to Ian, Willie, or Doogie. The link is in the bio for all those guys. Brilliant guys, and they've been supporting us all the way here on Falkirk Daft, and we love them for it. So thanks very much to the T8s, and thanks very much to Behind the Wall. And finally, Ross, we get to go into our beds. That is the main thing that's happening. My wife's sitting over here. I'm recording in the bedroom. She's knackered as well. She wants me to finish this podcast stat so she can go to her bed. I can go to my bed. The dog's sleeping beside me already. It's tight. It's that time.
What you're saying is you're not getting lucky though.
Well, she just heard you say that, so that's definitely not going to happen now, Ross. I've not got headphones on, you'll notice this. So you're speaking over the loudspeaker now, so that's good. So it's Teletubbies Night Night thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. On Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Get your merch.falkirkdaft.co.uk. Subscribe, like the channel, do all that nonsense that the kids say. And if you want to sponsor a show like Ryan has, you can do that as well. John at falkirkdaft.co.uk, Ross at falkirkdaft.co.uk. We're very, very cheap. As we should do, like, we're obviously hosting the partners night at the lounge tomorrow night. We should definitely try and get some business there. We should.
Good shout. Yes, listen.
This is an off-air conversation we're now having on air, by the way. So anyone listening to this podcast and partners lounge and then suddenly approached by us tomorrow saying, "Give us some money."
Coincidence.
Just a coincidence. Yeah, right, listen, thanks for listening to Falkirk Daft or watching it, whatever you do this way. I'm talking shite now. It's time to get up the road. But before we do that, we've got to leave with the words we leave you every episode.
Expect unexpected, buddy. One of the best.
Good night.
We're Falkirk Daft, we're Falkirk Daft, talking about the dark blues and having a bit of a laugh. We're Falkirk Daft, we're Falkirk Daft. You can listen in the pub or you can listen in the bath. We're Falkirk Daft, we're Falkirk Daft. For everyone who's caring about being a Falkirk bear, we're Falkirk Daft. We are Falkirk Daft.